Hi, welcome back. So this is Laura and I am doing a 12-part series on skills and practices to use in group therapy. So I've been gone for 2 weeks, and that's because I went to Burning Man, and it was an amazing experience for me. There's so much that's offered there that you're really able to pick and choose the experiences that you want. And my partner and I spent most of our time out on the deep playa and interacting with the art installations and the people that were there, and the different energies of the pieces, from the more like competitive pieces where like you climb and battle to be at the top of this piece, and then the more I would call it more feminine energy, a more relaxing energy maybe, that, had these circles in it and chimes, and both of these energies are such a vital part of our lives. And for me, I really reflected on the importance of choosing when I'm engaging in this energy versus that energy. And just spending a week playing is something that our society really doesn't do that much, and I think it can be very revitalizing and important to allow ourselves that downtime. I also volunteered with Zendo, so they offer psychedelic peer support for people that are having difficult experiences. And if you're following any of the psychedelic studies on psychedelic assisted psychotherapy, it seems like it's really making some breakthroughs in how we can support people in healing in a deeper level. So volunteering with that organization was really meaningful to me. And now, though, back to our scheduled programming. So this next section, I'm going to be focusing on tools and skills that you can use to gain more empathy for clients that are challenging for you. And we all come across clients that are challenging, and it can be pieces in ourselves that are unhealed yet. And these skills and tools are to help you gain more understanding and empathy for these clients. So the 3 things I'm going to focus on, today's video is going to be on the 3 chair exercise, a psychodrama practice that can be really supportive. The next will be about free will and my beliefs and other experts' beliefs on this topic. And lastly, it's going to be on Byron Katie's The Work and how doing this can support you in gaining a deeper understanding. So let's jump right into the 3 chair exercise. I love this exercise. You can use it with individuals doing internal work. So that could look like someone speaking to their wiser self, or maybe their younger self, and seeing what that younger self is trying to communicate to them. It can be done with external pieces. So it could be trying to gain compassion for a parent that raised them and having a conversation between themselves and a parent. It could be, a conversation with one's boss, trying to gain more understanding about that relationship. And it can also be done with other people. So I've done this exercise with couples and had just amazing progress be done. So in that case, it'd be 2 different people each using the 3 chairs, instead of one person going back and forth. So what is this 3 chair exercise, and what am I talking about? So there are 3 chairs that face each other. So the first set would be here facing each other, another set right behind that facing the same direction, and then another set. So there's like 3 chairs going bump, 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 and 3 chairs going bump, bump, bump. And what happens is when the client sits in the chair that is closest to the other, they're going to say their first truth. And then you'll invite them to move back a chair and say the deeper truth underneath that. And then when they move back to the final chair, they will say the deepest truth underneath all that. So each layer usually gets to a more emotional piece and more internal piece. And then you'll have the client move to the front chair and speak that deepest truth up close. And them repeating it is supportive, and them really retaining that insight of the deepest truth. So when you're using it, though, to gain insight around clients that are challenging for you, it's going to be you. You're the one actually moving in these chairs. You can do this exercise alone. Yes, it might feel a little awkward. You could also ask a colleague for support. What's really common during this exercise is that your brain is going to go blank at times. And that's actually what we want. When the brain is going blank and you're like, I should be able to come up with something to say right now, like, why am I tongue-tied? Don't be hard on yourself. To me, that is when like a new neural pathway is being formed. When the answers come really quickly to us, where to me, I believe we're accessing pathways that have already been well cemented. You're just accessing kind of that rut. But when you're at a loss for words, that is where your conscious is coming up with a new understanding of how you can see the world. So that's why it can be supportive to have a colleague support you in this. And what the colleague will say, they're going to maybe mirror something on your face. So maybe if you're scowling, they would say, I'm scowling because, and then if it fits for you, you'll say, I'm scowling because I'm realizing how much anger I have at myself around this issue, or whatever's true for you. But maybe you're not scowling. Maybe you're confused. But usually the person stating something, and they'll usually tap your shoulder when they suggest something for you. So they might say, I'm scowling because, but it kicks off what's true for you. Maybe you're confused. And you're like, oh, I am confused because I can't understand this emotion that the client's experiencing right now. So it kickstarts what's true. And those times when the brain goes blank are really important. Yeah, and this exercise really allows for deeper understanding. So I'm going to just try to practice it and just see what it would look like. So if I'm in the therapist chair and I'm really feeling frustrated with the client, I am so frustrated this client shows up late every session and then doesn't leave when the session's over. They always try to get more time out of it. Why is it that you're doing this, client? So then you'd move over to this chair. Clients, my life is so chaotic, I can never get to any place on time. And then you'd move back, you're the therapist moving back. What's the deeper truth for the client under their life is so chaotic? My life is chaotic because I don't value myself. I don't make time for myself, and I overcommit myself to everyone in my life, and I show up late for them because I don't believe I'm valuable enough on my own unless I'm caretaking everyone in my life. And then you move back. What's the deeper truth underneath that for the client? That they are overcommitting themselves to everyone because they don't believe I have value. I'm late because I don't think I'm worth taking care of myself. Showing up on therapy is a way I take care of myself, and I really feel to be of value, I need to be supporting others and taking care of others, and even showing up at all is really difficult for me. And so you'll repeat this process multiple times. So maybe you go back in the therapist chair. I get that you don't think you're worthy of therapy or taking care of yourself. Why is it that you want to stay late? And you move the other chair. I want to stay late because I feel connected and supported to you, and I want more of that in my life. What's underneath wanting to feel more of that for my life? The client might say, yeah, I feel supported, and you're modeling for me how to care for myself, and I really want to absorb every moment of that I can. And lastly, if they move to the last chair, I want to stay late because I actually do value our time greatly. I just forget about that when I'm in the outside world and all the other choices are around me. So doing a few rounds of these, I think that you could understand how you might be able to gain understanding for a client that before it was tricky to understand what was happening for them. I'd love to hear your thoughts, questions, try out this exercise with someone who's challenging in your life, whether it's a client or loved one, or maybe it's something that is challenging within yourself. I'd love to hear your feedback. Have a wonderful day and take care.